Okay, Mark Heath here with Jeremy Petley, building up to Contenders London, October the 2nd, the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. Get your tickets now, contendersmma.com. And Jeremy, delighted to have you with me. You're one of the biggest names on the card, the star of the show. You've not fought. This will be the first fight
Thank
for you.
you.
This will be the first fight for you, I think, in just over a year, won't it? Last time out on Bellator. So you must be itching to get back in there.
I'm ready to go, man. I've been working like a horse, so I can't wait.
And in terms of being involved with Contenders, obviously you've fought on Contenders before, but this is a big one, the first one in London, a big event, a big show. You've got to be excited for that as well.
Yeah, no, I have a good relationship with Steve. I fought on Contenders before, like you said, and they put on a great show. So I'm ready to put on the show myself, and I'm honored, to be honest. Really looking forward to competing, especially on their first show in London. So that's going to be really exciting.
Superb. If we can, we'll look at your fight in a minute, but I just want to, in the build-up, kind of talk about your career first, if that's okay. Because you are, I mean, everyone knows Jeremy Petley's name. You've competed on a number of shows. You've headlined BAMMA. You've obviously been on Bellator. You've been in with some of the biggest names in UK MMA, guys who fought in the UFC. How do you reflect now, kind of before you step into the next phase of your career and the cage on October 2nd, on your career to date?
I'm proud of everything I've done. I'm proud of the level that I've gotten to, and the dedication that I applied, I suppose. But I'm not gonna lie. I definitely feel there's some untapped potential there. Like I feel like I've reached some level of accomplishments, but by no stretch do I feel like I've fulfilled my potential in any way, nor do I feel like I passed my prime. I feel very much like I'm entering my prime. Always been a late bloomer, even as a kid. And I feel like 36 years young, I'm ready to smash more than I ever have before.
Superb. And that brings me on to the obvious next question, which is, as I say there, your legacy is already secured. If you never fight again, people will know your name and know what you've done. But you hint there that you feel like there's still more to give. You're 36 years old, but, you know, athletes carry on into their 40s these days, fighters, and you certainly look after yourself. So what is left for you, do you think, in things that you want to achieve and tick off? What more is there to come from Jeremy Petley?
I mean, I used to set goals. I wouldn't say arbitrary goals, maybe the opposite, arbitrary, specific goals. I want to, be a world champion in this promotion. I want to get to this promotion, that promotion. But now I would say my goals are a little bit more abstract. I have an idea in my head of the level that I want to get to. A level of quality, a pedigree, and I feel like I'm getting there step by step. And I feel like and another goal attached to that is that I want to have my performances represent that level. Of course, I can get to a level, and you see it many times in the gym. You see high-level guys that just don't execute and perform on the night. So, of course, obviously, performances, I want to get the right fights. It's like I have a good few years left still. In those few years, I want to get the right opponents. I want to establish the blueprint where I know I can be the best and one of the best in the world for sure. That's the way I see it, really. I know that there's only so much time. Maybe it's going to be 4 or 5 years. But in that time, I need to make sure that I have the right opponents, the right fights, and I want to be able to execute the blueprint, the game plan that me and my coaches are working on.
And you said there you feel like you can still improve and are still improving. Can you talk a little bit about that process? Obviously, you're working now with Brad Pickett at GB Top Team. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, I've worked with Brad for many years now. And I followed him over to GB Top Team. He's put together, over the few years, some of the best guys in the country by far. So I know I needed to have a piece of that, and I need to be having those rounds with him, and the wisdom as well that he's able to give me the level of coaching there. Like, he's an incredible coach. I have mad respect for the guy, as well as the guys there. Some of them young, old, but some of them just up and comers. But if have a look if you haven't already seen. There's going to be some of the guys in the next few years taking over, no question. So I feel working over there, the coaching from Brad and the bodies that are there for me to work with. It's just it feels like I'm leveling up, as far as the as well as the work I've done with my coach Silvio at London Fight Factory. Like, he designs the blueprint. We've been working for years on the specifics of the pathway to victory and how I need to apply my skill set. And so I feel like that's all coming together now, really.
One of the guys you're working with, obviously, is Emre Somnes. He's on the same card, fights for the Contenders featherweight title on the same card you're fighting on. Can you give us you must be interested in that fight. Can you give us a bit of an insight into how Emre's looking? How do you expect that to go?
Emre is, well, there's no secret. Emre is an incredible, good fighter, but incredible wrestler. And I mean, I see that fight going one way. I think he's going to take the guy down. I think he's going to control, and I think he's going to pound them out. To be completely honest, from what I've seen at GB Top Team, the guy's a world-class level, no question.
Superb. Now let's move on then to talk about your fight. You're fighting a kind of late replacement. You originally meant to fight JJ Dier. Now you're fighting another Brazilian, Ricardo Moraes. What do you know about him, and what you expect from him as an opponent?
I mean, I looked at him a little, and I can see what he has to offer. He's very aggressive. He's southpaw like me. Sometimes shapes up interesting. He's he's pretty well rounded. You can see wherever he's gone in the fight, he has answers, and he knows what he's doing on the ground. He's very aggressive standing up. I'd say he's a little bit wild, and I think because of that, a little wild and a little flat-footed, and because of that, I think that I'm going to. I think at this level, he's going to pay for that. That's something that I'm going to. What's the word? I'm going to exploit. Pretty unmercilessly.
Yeah, because certainly on paper, you look at this, you would be a heavy favourite. So this must be a fight that you feel like you can really show the full kind of gamut of your skills and really put on a show for the crowd in London.
Yeah, I mean, I never want to underestimate an opponent. My coach, LFF Silvio, he says to me, it's not about respecting the fighters, but respecting the fight. And a fight can happen in a fight. So I'm going to go in there with my tools. I'm a professional, first and foremost, and I'm going to go there and do the job. The execution, I alluded to before a little bit with you, Mark. The execution for me is most important. So I'm taking this guy seriously. I know he's still a threat, and I'm looking at this as an opportunity for a win, to get back in the cage. I'm excited to put on a show. But ultimately, I'm looking at this for an opportunity to exercise my game plan, to execute my blueprint, the thing, because it's like I used to, earlier in my career, it always for me in my head it used to be about being well-rounded, making sure my striking was like good enough, to compensate, or to balance out with my grappling and my wrestling, which is obviously the strong point and stuff like that. And working at London Fight Factory and with the guys at GB Top Team and with Brad over so many years, it opened my eyes, I think, and I realized that what I needed to do from the very beginning is to customize and tailor my fighting style specifically to my strengths. And that's what I do now, so I'm very much, I think in the last few fights, not the last fight, didn't do so well, but in the last 3 fights or so before that, I'd been gradually building into a blueprint and a game plan which can emphasize my strengths and my grappling and the control I have on the ground, the ability to hurt guys on the ground, to pound them out, and to apply a finish or submission when the opportunity presents, kind of thing. So I'm very much looking forward to this fight, and I feel like this is going to be a fight where I mean, I want it to be a flawless victory, to be honest. I want to do the same thing I would do if I was fighting the best guy in the world, and execute and win.
Is there an element of pressure?
So nobody's gonna. I'm not gonna underestimate the guy. I'm gonna go in there full pelt. He's gonna feel every bit of me.
Is there an element of pressure, Jeremy, going into a fight like this, where a lot of people obviously going to be coming to see you fight? As I say, you're a favourite in the fight. Do you kind of embrace that pressure? Is that a pressure that you feel going into the cage?
I mean, whatever pressure people put on me, it can't be more than the pressure I put on myself. You know, I get I'll sell tickets and I'll have like loads of people cheering my name and stuff like that. But it doesn't feel like fans. It feels like just I have a lot of friends, to be honest. And then, to be honest, they love me and they know I'm a good fighter and they love me and respect me no matter what. And I think the pressure that I feel isn't about them or their expectations. The pressures I put on myself, and I put pressure on myself because I want to hold the line and hold a certain standard of performance. And I want to represent the gyms that have worked hard to represent me. The coaches and the guys at GB Top Team, the London Fight Factory, my home gym, you know, where there's blood in my veins. So I've been fighting out of there for the better part, nearly 15 years now. So as far as me wanting to represent and myself and the people that represent me, there's that pressure, but that won't change. That wouldn't change whether depending on the fight, you know.
So let's finish now with a prediction. You've kind of hinted at it already. You're hoping for a flawless victory. How do you see this one going when you're locked in a cage come October 2nd?
Well, I see myself taking the guy down. I see myself looking to open him up with elbows, with hammer fists, and ground and pound. And I feel like he'll give me something. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to set things up, and I'm going to be mature about it. So I'm not going to rush things. So maybe it could be a second round stoppage. I feel like if I put the pressure and I set my pace, I think that and drag my opponent to deep water, like how I like to do. I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to last very long. But I'm going to set my pace, and really, it's down to him and how hard he's worked, how long he's going to survive for. But if I were to wager a guess, I say maybe I'm going to look to stop him in the second. If not, maybe early in the third.
There we go then. And then with that win, that would be 4 out of your last 5 you'll have won. So the obvious question finally is what then would be next for Ninja Petley? You know, Contenders obviously making a big push. The title may be available depending on what happens in Emra's fight. Is that something you'd consider down the line? Obviously not fighting Emra, but fighting for a title in Contenders. How do you see that? Of course.
With Emra, like obviously he's a teammate now, so we've been recently both training at GB Top Team, and it was like I think it was just like maybe we were just destined never to be opponents, but just to be teammates, because we were matched up at another show a couple of years back, and then we weren't able to do it, and then and then this happens. So I think that's one of those things one meant to be. I'd be interested absolutely if for some reason Emra loses the opportunity to win that title, which I doubt. If he does, I'm happy to fight. I'd love to fight for the title, and ultimately I want to be fighting the best guys in the country and some of the best guys in the world. So it's all about the opponent. If the opponent's right, if I feel like that's a challenge for me, then I'm game, baby. I'm ready to go.
Superb. There you go. Then do not miss it. Jeremy Petley against Ricardo Moraes. October the 2nd is the date. Crystal Palace National Sport Centre is the location. Contenders London is the event. You can get your tickets now from contendersmma.com. Do not miss it, Jeremy. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you on Fight Night.